The sunlight was fading, casting long shadows through the narrow streets of the city. Inside the Pharisee's house, the setting was immaculate. Finely polished tables, glistening bowls, and ceremonial platters arranged with perfection. The Pharisee, dressed in flowing robes adorned with tassels, gestured proudly as an elaborate meal was brought forth, each detail meticulously orchestrated. Jesus walked in, his face calm but resolute, his disciples trailing behind him. As they reclined at the table, the Pharisee's eyes flickered with disbelief. Jesus had not performed the customary washing before the meal, a tradition they held in sacred reverence. It wasn't about cleanliness, it was about ritual, an outward act meant to signal purity to the watching world. The Pharisee shifted uncomfortably, clearing his throat before breaking the silence. But before the Pharisee could speak, Jesus began. His voice pierced the room, not loud but sharp, cutting through the layers of piety like a dagger through silk. "You Pharisees," he began, "clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside you are full of greed and wickedness." A murmur rippled through the gathering, heavy with tension. The Pharisee's hand froze mid-motion. Jesus' words hung in the air, undeniable and accusing. Jesus spoke loudly, his voice cutting through the layers of piety like a dagger through silk, commanding the attention of every soul present. As he continued, gesturing to the assembled and otherwise respected religious leaders, the room was charged with palpable tension, each leader acutely aware of the challenge before them. A murmur rippled through the gathering, heavy with tension. The Pharisee's hand froze mid-motion. Jesus' words hung in the air, undeniable and accusing. He continued, gesturing to the table laid so precisely before him. The Pharisees, with their pride trembling under the weight of his gaze, sat silent, their faces flushed with indignation. Yet they couldn't deny the truth in his words. "Fools, did not he who made the outside make the inside also? But give from what is within to the poor, and everything will be clean for you." Now all eyes were on him, the teachers of the law, scribes and Pharisees, the very symbols of religious authority. Their faces flushed, their pride trembling under the weight of his gaze. But Jesus did not stop. He leaned forward with an intensity that caused the room to still even further. What he said next would echo in their minds. "Woe to you, Pharisees! You tithe mint, rue, and every herb, yet neglect justice and the love of God. You focus on the smallest ritual, but abandon the weightiest matters of the law. Woe to you! For you love the best seats in the synagogues and greetings in the marketplaces, yet you are like unmarked graves. People walk over them without knowing, defiled by your hypocrisy." The scribes protested, their voices rising in indignation. "Teacher, you insult us when you say these things." Jesus turned to them, undeterred. "Woe to you also, experts in the law, for you load people with burdens hard to bear, but you yourselves will not lift a finger to help them." His voice was unflinching, cutting through their defenses and revealing the emptiness of their religion. "Woe to you who build tombs for the prophets your fathers killed, pretending to honor them. Their blood is on your hands, and you will bear the consequences." The room was suffocating with silence. The Pharisees and scribes, backed into corners by the truth, now seethed with fury, plotting against him. The crowd became astutely aware that a change of heart was the only hope, for outward religious practices would never save them. But Jesus, unshaken, stood, his words lingering like thunder in the hearts of all who would hear them. "This generation will be held accountable for it all." Without hesitation, he walked out, leaving behind a house full of outwardly clean dishes and utterly unclean souls. And as the shadows deepened outside, the contrast between outward appearance and inward truth had never been so stark. Outside the Pharisee's house, Jesus turned to his disciples, his expression calm but resolute, ready to impart a lesson of true faith. Jesus continued, Faith is not measured by the rituals you perform, but by the real person that flows freely from a devoted heart. Living for God is a commitment at the heart level, not the kind of piety that shows up only to impress society's expectations. And as the shadows lengthened, Jesus' words lingered in the disciples' heart. He recalled the words of old, "Man looks at the outward things of a person, but God looks and values the heart above all."